Hey, good morning, everybody. Are we live up top? I think we are. Awesome. For all of you millions of viewers online, good morning. Happy Valentine's Day from NDSU and love from Thundar. How are you, buddy? All right. We're going to have a lot of fun this morning. We're going to see more of Thundar. This is his cue to walk off stage. Watch your step. We'll see how he does. All right. Awesome to have Thundar with us. He's our secret weapon today for our little campaign big reveal. So thank you to everybody for being with us this morning. I'm John Glover, president of the North Dakota State University Foundation. And it is my honor to help us do the big reveal today. We have a lineup of special guests. Our very own governor and proud Bison alum, Doug Burgum, is with us today. North Dakota's #1 cheerleader, where we all know he learns the cheerleading ropes right here on this campus. Thought it'd be fun to bring him back. We have our In Our Hands campaign co-chairs with us as well. Bob and Sheila Challey will join us in a little bit, and Steve Swantek. So give them a round of a hand. Steve's wife, Marianne, is unable to join us this morning. I know she sends her regards to everybody, and so Marianne, if you're watching this morning, you are with us in spirit for sure, so enjoy that sunny California weather. And of course, a program like this would not be possible with our very own president, Dean Bresciani, and his wife, Christy Hansen. We thought there is no better day to show our love for NDSU than Valentine's Day, right? So it is awesome to see so many of you dressed in red and your pink. I went with our green and yellow for the day, mainly because I don't have a lot of red in my wardrobe. But anyway, Valentine's Day, a day to celebrate all things family and certainly love of this great institution and what this campaign over the last 6 years has been all about. You know, a little more than 6.5 years ago, Dr. Bresciani issued a call to our community to step up and move NDSU forward as a distinctive land-grant, student-focused land-grant research university. And a part of that call was increased philanthropic support to lift up our students through scholarships, to lift up our faculty through named faculty positions and things that help them do their scholarship and research, investing in our infrastructure as well as our programs. At that time, there were some that believed that the size of this campaign that we were thinking about, maybe we could raise $200 million. I have a document where it said $200 million on it, so I'm not making that up, just for frame of reference, right? We said, yeah, you know, we think we can do a little bit more. So a couple years later, we publicly announced this campaign. We had already been to work, and we announced a $400 million goal, more than double what they thought. Well, it turns out we can do just a little bit more than that. And last spring, we hit $400 million. 20 months ahead of original schedule, but we said, let's keep going, and that's exactly what has happened. So 2021 was fantastic, and you're going to hear more about that here in a little bit, and we'll do the reveal, but we're gonna have some fun with it as well. This campaign, at the end of the day, is about our students, and 2 of our outstanding Bison ambassadors and current students at NDSU are with us this morning. So please welcome Michael Hall and Brianna Maddock to the stage.
All right, thank you, John. How excited are we to be here this morning? Yeah. I love it. Best Monday morning of the semester for me. What about you?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Way better being here than studying somewhere on the library.
Definitely. Well, we are so excited to be here this morning. Mike and I were just talking about how just a few years ago we were at the campaign launch, and we had a little bet going as Boston ambassadors. We were asked to guess how much we thought the goal was for this campaign. Mike, do you remember what your guess was?
Well, I'm a little shy after hearing John say how much we actually had our goal to be, but I was around 150 million, I think, for my guess.
Okay, not bad. It wasn't as bad as our lowest guess at like 33 million, so we're happy to say we raised more than that. Yeah. My guess was around 350, but I was blown away when we said that our goal was 400 million, and I was even more blown away by the fact that when we went live with our campaign, we'd already raised over $300 million. It's pretty amazing.
I was a freshman when the campaign was announced, and I was trying to figure out my way through college, and I was just blown away by the support that NDSU has, and it made me feel like really confident to be a student here. So with this guessing game we're playing, you know, it kind of feels like we're playing the Price is Right up here. Would you like to continue that? And maybe let's bet for a meal at West Dining Center. What do you think?
High stakes, folks.
High stakes. They do have fantastic pizza. What do you think the final goal will be?
Ooh, I think we know we beat our goal. I think we raised 457 million.
That's a pretty good guess. I'm gonna raise you a little bit. I think we were at around 478 million.
Ooh, okay. Well, we'll have to see who is closer. I hate to go against like a higher amount of money for the campaign, but I really like their pizza, folks. So fingers crossed. All right, but we'll find out the total really soon. We're so excited to be here. Oh my goodness, this is wonderful. John, we'll give it back over to you.
Thanks, you guys. Let's give it up for Brianna and Michael. It takes a village, truly a village and a team to embark on the kind of initiative and everything that we have done over the last 6 years. But certainly it cannot happen without important leadership. And our campaign co-chairs in Bob and Sheila Challey and Steve and Marianne Swantek have just been lights out in cheering for the Bison and leading us across the country to tell our story and to inspire others to get involved, as well as their own leadership support, both personally and then certainly through Gate City Bank, of which we all know Steve's been a pretty important part of through the years, I think. So with that, please join me in welcoming Bob and Sheila Challey and Steve Swantek to the stage. Come on up, you guys.
I guess I'm first.
You're first.
Oh, boy. It's sure fun to follow students and things like that who, you know, live wires and pretty sharp, and I really enjoy that part. I know that in a few minutes, John Glover is going to come up with something crazy to make his announcement, because that seems to be his MO. And I'm so fortunate that I get to say something on the serious side first. So that's where I'm headed here. Sheila said that I get to do all the talking today because she said I always do all the talking.
Really?
So, I don't know. Do you think that's true?
No, not at all.
You know.
It is true.
It is true. Sheila, though, I have to say a comment. Sheila's been such a part of this campaign and been on every event and played the whole thing throughout with us. And she's also an equal partner in our philanthropic efforts and has been, you know, for 30 or 40 years. I was thinking back, I think Sheila has been to more foundation meetings and football games and everything else over the years. And I bet it's hundreds of events that you've come along, and this is for a person who is not an NDSU graduate, so I think she should be honorary. You're welcome. Sheila and I are proud to have been chosen to lead this campaign. with Steve and Marianne, of course. It's been one of the most interesting and rewarding things that we've ever done. And I think we want to thank John and the foundation for letting us lead that effort. It's appropriate in this announcement, should be on Valentine's Day, as I mentioned earlier. I think we're going to have a pretty big Valentine to announce in a minute, and I can hardly wait. We're so proud of what we have accomplished so far in the campaign, considering that we've concluded it 1 year early, and we did at least half the work during COVID lockdowns. I mean, you think about that. Whatever we raised is unbelievably large. Not being able to get in front of people personally is just almost inconceivable in a capital campaign. And when we talk about the numbers a little more later, I think you'll be blown away by what was accomplished through these tough times. So congratulations to everyone for doing that. And I also want to thank Monique Anderson and John Glover. Monique's our executive vice president in charge of everything. And she tells me what to do every now and then, which is just like my wife, so it works out good. And we also have a wonderful staff. And I would like to congratulate our staff because they're the ones that have carried the ball and raised the money here. And so would our staff members please raise your hand and wave your hand? I know they're all through here, all around here. Terrific. We clearly couldn't have done any of this without you, and we thank you. We also have about 25 campaign ambassadors. That's a group of volunteers that we assembled at the beginning of the campaign. They have come from all around the country, from all different disciplines, and have met a number of times to set the campaign. We've done events. They've held events all over the country. They have suggested to us that there are friends that we maybe haven't met so far, and they've come up with those names and also reacquainted us with some folks that we haven't been in touch with. And so they've done a terrific job. I know that many of them are from other places, but I know we have some of them here today, including the Welches from Texas and others. And would you please wave your hand and be congratulated? Here's the In Our Hands campaign is the 5th fundraising effort that we've done in benefit of North Dakota State. Way back in 1975, President Laura Lofsgaard helped organize the NDSU Foundation and suggested to some of his best alums, who are also his best buddies, that maybe they should have a capital campaign. And SU 75 was what it was called. Maybe a few of you remember that. I certainly do, because I'm so old and remember all those things. Those are the days when Harold Schaefer and Art Bunker and Buck Gallagher, classic names from the past, were the boys. And those guys got together and they raised about $4 million. So that was our first effort, and how wonderful it was then. The second campaign took place in the 80s. The goal was about $7 million, and it raised an incredible $9 million. So once again, we've exceeded a budget or our campaign goal, and that was great. The third campaign in the 90s was known as the $20 million campaign for NDSU. After several years, it was successfully concluded with a total of $26 million raised. So 4, 9, and 26 was a pretty good start. About 15 years ago, we stood in this very room, I remember it pretty well, to announce the results of the 4th campaign, which we'd entitled Momentum. I still have a sweatshirt. We found a sweatshirt. I have sweatshirts from all these campaigns, by the way. Most of them in the drawer. Most of them haven't been worn, but most of them don't fit anymore. That's why I know what it was called. Anyway, I'm going to donate that to the archive someday, my sweatshirt collection. That campaign was done at a time when Joe Chapman was president, I think, and we had a whole bunch of initiatives that had been begun in those days, and some of them needed money, as Dean will tell you over a drink quietly. Our good friend Frank Jennings was chair of that campaign, and he stood right over there, and we made the big announcement. The $70 million campaign had raised over $106 million. So we're doing pretty well, and we thought we were doing pretty well. And now it's been quite a long time since we've had a campaign. One thing or another got in the way. And when we began planning the In Our Hands campaign, it was obvious that scholarship funds were a first priority. Dean has been talking about this for a number of years. We don't stand up well with our peers comparatively in scholarships, and so that has become a huge goal of the campaign, and I think it's going to fill a great big need here when we count up the last dollar. Sheila and I have always believed, and this is something that we've benefited from, we believe that it's better to give your money away now while you're living so you can see what it did. And it's much better than being dead and not knowing what it did. So is that sort of obvious? I mean, but anyways. So we've always tried to do things that were more on a current basis. And at the same time, when we started the campaign, it became obvious to me that we had not done very much in the area of legacy gifting. That is, we weren't in the estate or trust or will of very many of our alumni and friends. And that's a terrific way to build a campaign and to build a long-term asset base for the future. We had times along the way where we would get an estate gift from somebody. It came in completely unexpectedly. Some of them were pretty good sized, and we had no idea who that person was or why they did it. And that's kind of sad because we didn't even get a chance to say thank you. So we went to work on that particular thing. Monique, I'm talking with Monique about this. She came up with a pretty good idea on how we could maybe emphasize legacy gifts in the campaign. And that was that we could make a cash match for everyone who gave a legacy gift. It would give that donor a chance to put us in their will or trust for hopefully a large amount of money, and we could then match that with a much smaller cash amount that they could use to give away to whatever they wanted to do on a current basis. And so she convinced Sheila and I that we should do $1 million toward this effort, and surprisingly, we came out with an incredible result. We have raised so far over $50 million in legacy gifts in this method. So those of you who participated, it's been wonderful, and thank you. And those of you who are still thinking about it, maybe we won't let the money run out. So,
Did you ask Sheila about that?
It's at some point. The other thing is that a lot of people have come up to us after having participated in that program and said how wonderful it was to be able to give away our money, and so we've had fun with that. And I can tell you we haven't bought a drink at a Bison event for the last year or so, because every time I get to the line, which I usually don't have any money because I just changed my suit, but we get to the line and I'm standing there and I can't buy a drink, and somebody always helps me out. So I want you to keep that up. The final thing I want to say is I want to thank Dr. Bresciani for all he has done for NDSU. It's been a real fun ride, and it's been a wonderful result, and we really appreciate it. He sat through, I bet, 1 million meetings, many of them with the foundation and the campaign. He's been such an inspirational leader, and for that, we are greatly indebted. And finally, I think I want to say that about 6 or 8 months ago, Dean decided to make a gift to the campaign. It was done quietly and with very little fanfare, but I can tell you that Dean has donated his entire estate to NDSU. This is a wonderful, wonderful gift. Thank you. Yes, I agree.
Yes.
I can tell you that his gift ranks in the very top of the group of the most generous donors. So with that, I'll say thank you all, and Steve and Mary Ann. Oh,
Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here. What an exciting day. First of all, as John alluded to, Mary Ann is in California, but it's not because of the weather. She was supposed to come back with me on Saturday, but unfortunately, because of health, she wasn't able to fly, and so she definitely would have been here. So Mary Ann, I love you. I know that she's listening, and so it's nice to have her here today because there's two unique things for us today. First of all, this wonderful campaign and the announcement and what's happened. And also, it was 7 years ago today, on Valentine's Day, that I proposed to Mary Ann in Thompson Hall. So it was a fun day. So what a... And she has been such an inspiration and part of this whole entire process, as Bob alluded to with Sheila. It's a team effort, and all of us working together, so it's so much fun. When Mary Ann and I were asked to co-chair with Bob, it was pretty easy to say yes for a couple of reasons. First of all, Bob and Sheila, and working with them, we know them for many, many years. They're great. Bob is kind of docile and not afraid to say anything, but also not afraid to say anything, but I didn't worry about that because we always knew where Bob's heart is as well as Sheila, so it was great. It was a lot of fun. And the second part of it was we knew, Mary Ann and I knew that Dean's vision, he was an integral part of the campaign, and it was his vision of what he wanted to do for NDSU, from scholarships, endowments, endowed faculty, capital expenditures, all of those types of things were integral. And we have totally embraced, Mary Ann and I know others totally embraced Dean's leadership and the importance that he placed on this university and looking ahead. So it was also very easy for donors to think the same way with Dean's leadership because over 15,000 donors over this time frame have given to this campaign. It's just amazing. Bob talked about the staff, and you think about the staff with John and the team, and the collaboration, and their willingness to reach out, and being able to find new donors and new friends of the university. I mean, that's really exciting. And the flexibility of this campaign to be able to actually put the money where you want it to go, and not where we are, or telling you where it should go. And that made a difference because, as Bob alluded to earlier, he wants to see, and Sheila wants to see, where is that money going? So he has specific areas, they do. Mary Ann and I have specific areas that we wanted to have it in, and so did everybody else, and that's what's so exciting about it. So when you think about those over 15,000 donors, when it comes from the campaign ambassadors, when it comes from the staff over on the university side, the deans, faculty, donors, friends. I mean, it was just a wonderful team effort. So it's been great. And you look at the future of NDSU. As Dean has always alluded to, we're a student-focused land-grant research university. And that's where we're looking at ahead and the difference that we can make. And the money that's being used for this, the difference that will make. When you look at the vision of NDSU, it talks about to lead the advancement of our land-grant ideals through innovative education, research, and outreach. And I look at that we're allowing the opportunity for all these students to create a better way of life and to make a difference all over the world. And that's what's so unique and so exciting for this. So from the bottom of our heart, Mary Ann's, thank you so much for everything that you've done. And Dean, thank you for what you've done. Mm-hmm. It's through your leadership, we were able to be successful in this campaign. So thank you.
You are not done yet, Steve.
Oh, okay.
But our pay ran out.
We're gonna have some fun.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yep. Sheila didn't want to say anything, but we're gonna have some fun. That's what she wanted to do. So,
That sounds right.
Dean and Christy, would you join us up on stage? So we thought that if we're gonna play a little guessing game, you know, maybe we ought to think game show, maybe we ought to think a little Price is Right. Why don't you guys scoot on down a little bit here so Dean doesn't fall off the edge of the stage?
Even better.
You can get in the middle. Get in the middle here.
Again.
But it feels like if I'm gonna do a game show, I need another prop or something here. So Thundar, can you help me out? Okay, there we go.
Look at that, Mike.
Good job, Thunder.
Anybody remember Bob Barker?
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna have a little fun. We're trying to guess the Price is Right. So Steve, you have a pen, you have a note card.
Did you get a pen?
You get the first guess. So what is the number that you would like to reveal?
Oh, let's see. 496,765,000.
Wow. Is that the right price?
That's great.
Sorry.
Well, nice effort.
Thanks.
Yep, appreciate all you've done for us, but
Okay, I can.
but you can stay.
Oh, okay.
Do you wanna give me a hug or a kiss at all? No? Okay. All right, Bob and Sheila,
We wrote it down.
you have written your number down. Would you like to share with everybody what your guess is?
Well, it's not fair because I do know the answer.
No.
Look at
No,
that.
you do not.
We wrote down 505,982,326.12.
505,982,000 and a bunch of change. What do we think, folks? Okay, we get one more guess. Dean, don't fail us. Christy, come on, you're the ace in the hole. You've got to be able to help us out here.
Back when we suggested we were going to get really brazen and go for 400 million,
Yeah.
Bob and Sheila said, no, we want bigger, go bigger. And it became the number we called Bob's Big Boy.
Big boy. And you know what? You sent me, Bob's Big Boy, a tin figure of Bob's Big Boy, which I was going to bring with me, but I didn't get it on the suitcase because it photographs badly under the... But seriously, we'll send that around. We've modified it a little bit to put some bison gear on them, but...
Now, I'll tell you, everybody thought that was funny and that he was absolutely nuts. We're not going to raise $500 million.
No.
But he has inspired me. Christy and I want to up Bob Big's Boy. We're saying 516,525 on the nose.
516,525,000. What do we think?
Oh, that went well.
That's good.
I want these guys.
That is good.
Oh, goodness sakes. Now what are we going to do?
Get new contestants.
That's right.
Thundar. How about Thundar? Come on down. Okay, now we're getting serious. Governor Burgum, I think you need to join us up on stage for this. Now we're going to see what happens, but there is only one person that gets to reveal what this number is. All right, Dr. Dean,
I shouldn't have drank so much coffee this morning.
one more guess.
Okay. How's it? Oh, holy cow. Boy, were we wrong. 586,651,144.
Well done.
All right, you guys can clear the stage. Dean and Christy, why don't you just stay up here?
Is that really the number that was?
Well, it goes without saying the Dean and Christy do not need another introduction, but I do think we would like to hear them share a few words. A campaign of this magnitude, and absolutely yes, that is a real number. Wow.
Spectacular.
Might I remind you what I said at the beginning of the program? There were some that thought, maybe 200 million would be the right number. But we are knocking on the door of a $600 million effort, and we owe all the credit and thanks to the two of you and your leadership. Please join me once again in congratulating Dean and Christy.
It's really pretty simple what I want to say. 12 years ago, I saw a campus poised to accomplish more and contribute more than any college or university in the state ever had. As a matter of fact, I thought people wouldn't even be able to imagine what we could accomplish and contribute to the citizens we serve. And I got here and I found out I was absolutely wrong. We all shared that vision and that passion. Our students shared it. Our faculty shared it. Our staff shared it. Our alumni shared it. Our corporate partners shared it. People around the country have increasingly shared that belief, particularly business owners in Frisco, Texas. And what we have accomplished here isn't just the record-breaking higher education campaign. It is the biggest fundraising effort in the history of the state of North Dakota. We had done that collectively as the Bison family. And people throw out that term Bison family like it's just, candy you're throwing out during a parade. But it's a belief and it's a mindset. And that's how you accomplish a campaign of this extraordinary success a year in advance during a worldwide pandemic. It speaks volumes about people's willingness to invest in NDSU, both now and increasingly in the future, and our future capacities to excel beyond what we're even imagining today. Thank you all for contributing to that.
Well, he said everything I was going to say. Look, this is unbelievable. And I'm standing here, first of all, so proud of Dean and everything that he's done for NDSU. But I'm also so proud of everybody who worked on this campaign. I know that it was about relationship building, which he mentioned. And I think we reacquainted people with old relationships. We brought in new relationships. And now I think we are stronger than we've ever been. And I'm just really proud of every single donor, from if you gave $1 to 75 million or more, you know, each of you has made a difference, and you've transformed this university, and it's something we should all be proud of. And I know today I am so proud to be a Bison, so go Bison.
A party like this would not be appropriate without having North Dakota's governor, our Bison alum, Governor Doug Burgum. Please join me in welcoming Doug.
Thank you. Let's give it up for the Gold Star Marching Band, huh? Woo! Wow. Well, today is certainly a day of gratitude. But as Dean said, it's also a day to think about family, families, and to think about community. And it's also an opportunity for us as a state and as NDSU to think about our history and to think about our future. This is a marking point for a new beginning for North Dakota State and for the state of North Dakota. And let me just reflect a little bit about this on following on the great comments, but talking about family first. When we got so many families that were involved in this, and not just the Challies and the Swantecs and Dean and Christy, but I look around the audience here and I know all the people that are online. I know people that were in this room and their families had been involved in all of those campaigns that Bob was talking about. I think about my mother being involved in SU 75. I think about the Dietrichs being involved in that and all the beginnings. That's where the Bison Bittergold Bowl came out of those beginnings. So we look back on that history, and I think we're learning a lot. I mean, one thing I certainly learned today, because I will never think about NDSU the same, because I've never thought of Thompson Hall as a place to propose. And so that's it was like, Steve, wow, okay. We were fraternity brothers. I didn't know. I mean, I picked the most romantic place you can think of to propose to Mary Ann, and it's Thompson Hall. But we should get a plaque. Is there money in the campaign to get a plaque over there on the spot where Steve proposed, where that happened? But when you go back even further, I mean, I think about there's with my cousins and second cousins, the Peltiers. We share our grandmother, to me, great-grandmother, the Peltiers, but, Jessamine Slaughter, who was in that first class of 6 people at NDSU in 1889, the same year that the state was being founded. 5 boys and 1 girl in that initial class, and of course, they've, in the 60s, ended up naming Burgum Hall after her, but of course, when she was here attending, as Jessamine Slaughter, she hadn't met my grandfather yet, but I guess they decided not to call the women's dorm the Slaughter Hall at an ag school wisely. That was probably a good call that they made in the 60s. But anyway, there's this history, and then of course I'm thinking today about my mom and dad who met at NDSU, and my mom after my dad passed away coming back to work at NDSU as a dean, and all the family connections. But I know, looking around the room, and of the 15,000 families that donated, everybody's got a story like this about parents and brothers and my siblings, my older brother, my older sister, cousins like, Julie Williams-Barner out here. I mean, we got, communities that get connected to this. And so when I do say about family, the Bison family is made up of families. And it's made up of families that generationally care about this. And when people take the action of putting their time and their talents and their treasure towards an institution at the magnitude that we're seeing like we've never seen before, this means something remarkable. And for the students that are here today and the students that are coming, if you're thinking about where do I go to school, I mean, this sends a signal to students that this is a place where the alumni and the faculty and the community and the corporate partners all care deeply about this place, and it helps us on that positive spiral of getting more and stronger and even better students to arrive. And this allows us to support faculty And so when you've got student-focused land grant in a state where our land and our resources mean so much, I mean, this is a state, we literally feed the world and we fuel the world. And we do it at a scale that's almost unimaginable for how few of us there are that are North Dakotans and the impact we have on global markets. It's really remarkable. And then here we have, today when we talk about research, the thing that is going to drive the solutions to the world's toughest problems is innovation. It's not regulation, it's innovation. And if that innovation is around energy, if that innovation is around agriculture, and if that innovation is around, how we can store carbon in North Dakota better than any other place in the world, and the impact that that can mean, and the billions of dollars of capital that are flowing to North Dakota right now because we have innovated. And a lot of that goes back to here, to what's gone on at the campus and what can go on. And it also goes back to the fact that the people that wrote these checks are people that were incredibly successful alumni. These were students that got inspired by faculty, and whether it was in an agricultural setting or whether it was in a biosciences lab, and they went on to build companies that were amazing and create jobs, and then decide, I want to give back to the school that helped make a difference for me in my career. That's the virtuous cycle that's occurring here, and it's going to happen even more when we've got this kind of power in terms of the economic power. But I do have a challenge that I want as we celebrate today and look to the future and this incredible future and what this can drive. I got a challenge for everybody that's here and everybody that's listening. Whether you're a student, whether you're part of the faculty, whether you're part of the alumni, whether you're part of the successful campaign, whether you're a corporate partner, whatever role you might be, because there are forces pushing against higher education across the world, not just in North Dakota, but across the world, that are pushing harder than they've ever pushed. And those are demographic challenges, where we got an opportunity to serve not just 18 to 22-year-olds, but people of all ages. There's economic challenges where there's competition forming everywhere, from certificate classes to online things, and a traditional 4-year model is under attack from all kinds of alternatives. Culturally, it was an easy thing to say from World War II to the 2000s that if you had a 4-year college degree, you're going to be more successful. That isn't necessarily factually true anymore if you can have alternative experiences or certificates that get you to the same place. And then, of course, technology, COVID, has accelerated all of these technological challenges, which are understanding that whatever we may have thought on 11 campuses in North Dakota, where there may have been small regional geographic monopolies because you could serve the people that are close to you that could drive to your campus, that's all evaporated and gone, because people can seek where they want to go to school anywhere in the world, anytime, from any place, from any device, and they can live anywhere. And when everybody is offering competitive stuff, it changes the whole dynamic. So this campaign couldn't have completed a minute too soon because of the opportunity, the fuel that gives for innovation. If this can be applied to not do things the way we've always done them, but to do things differently, the reach that NDSU and NDSU Ag Extension has and Ag Research has in our state that touches every county, it touches every community. We've got alumni in every city in our state. This organization has an opportunity to take its impact and multiply it and amplify it with these kinds of resources going forward. And success begets success. There are people beyond the 15,000 that maybe didn't even know the campaign was going on. When they hear and see about this, I predict that people are going to say, how can I get involved? How can I? It's not like it's over. It's like, hey, I want to be part of this thing. So I would encourage everybody involved, John and others, don't stop now, because this is the thing that starts driving it. I think you're going to just see the number continue to climb going forward. But when we apply that, the challenge to everybody is how do we take the resource we have? How do we use this to build additional competitive advantage? How do we do this the way our athletic teams do? Because we are competing. Our state is competing against other states. Our university is competing against other state universities for students, for resources. And we're competing not to create jobs. There are so many jobs available in America. We need to compete to create solutions and with higher productivity to some of the world's biggest issues. That happens at research universities. That happens at North Dakota State. It happens when families are committed to the place that they went to school. It happens when the community stands up. And I want to also say in closing, the other thing that NDSU has done, you can't attract faculty and students to a location unless it's a place they want to live. You have to have a healthy, vibrant, active, engaged community. The universities that are in small, little rural communities with nothing going on are going to continue to struggle in terms of attracting both students and faculty. One of the advantages that NDSU has is Fargo, and one of the huge advantages that Fargo has is NDSU. And the two have worked together better than any of the other 11 schools in our state in terms of that connection between campus and community and connecting the downtown and building the vibrancy and doing that in a way that transforms where people and faculty come. When we're recruiting faculty here, they go, I want to live in this community. When students come, they go, I want to go to school in this community. And so let's keep remembering that part of our competitive advantage is community. So this is a story of family. It's a story of community. It's an incredible success story. And in closing, I just want to share my gratitude, as everybody has, not only with the Challies and the Swan Techs for the incredible work and all of the 15,000 people and all of you that were on committees and volunteers and showed up and the staff and did that, but I also want to share with the NDSU family in thanking Dean and Christy for their leadership, their vision for making all this happen. Let's give it up. Go Bison!
Rare is there a profession where one gets to work with really remarkable people in especially meaningful ways. You are remarkable, and for that, we say thank you. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for celebrating this unbelievable moment in NDSU's history. It's more than $500 million with a B. Congratulations to all of you. In closing, let's stand, let's sing The Yellow and the Green. Go Bison! Happy Valentine's Day!